Beverly Daniel Tatum, Why Are All the Black Kids Sitting Together in the Cafeteria? Revised edition. In the revised edition of Why Are All the Black Kids Sitting Together in the Cafeteria? Beverly Daniel Tatum dives deep into the persistent issue of racial inequality in the United States. Through compelling data and anecdotes, Tatum highlights the prevalence of racism across various sectors, such as housing, education, and the criminal justice system. This book summary aims to present a comprehensive yet concise overview of Tatum's exploration of racial segregation, the role of cultural stereotypes, the importance of racial identity, and the need for open dialogue about racism and racial privilege.
The persisting reality of racism in America. Racism and racial inequality are still prevalent issues in the U.S. despite the progress made during the civil rights movement. White people often fail to acknowledge this fact and continue to benefit from societal privileges. Racial inequality affects almost every aspect of American society, including housing, education, and the criminal justice system. Data shows that white and Asian Americans dominate high-paying occupational categories, while Latinx and Black Americans are overrepresented in low-paying industries. The income divide between white and Black Americans is strikingly apparent, with the median white household income being significantly higher than that of Black households. Even more subtle privileges, such as not being followed in department stores or not facing discrimination in schools, contribute to the perpetuation of racial inequality in the U.S. The author urges readers to confront the reality of racism and to work towards achieving genuine equality. The problem of racial segregation. Racial segregation remains a persistent problem in American society, as seen in the segregation of schools and neighborhoods. Despite the Supreme Court's decision in 1954 to declare segregation in schools unconstitutional, de facto segregation has been steadily rising in the Northeast region of the country. As of 2017, more than 50% of Black students in the Northeast attended schools that were 90 to 100% non-white. Nationwide, almost 75% of Black students attended majority-minority schools. Segregation also affects the way real estate agents treat clients, directing them towards neighborhoods based on their race. This lack of interaction between different racial groups leads to unawareness of each other's problems and perpetuates stereotypes. Stereotypes and Prejudice. This book extract reveals how cultural stereotypes shape our views of race and influence our thinking at a young age, often leading to prejudices that can stay with us throughout our lives. By examining the research into preschoolers' perceptions of Native Americans, the author shows how even young children can internalize damaging stereotypes, perpetuated by entertainment media such as cartoons. The extract also illustrates how these biases can be challenged and revised, emphasizing the importance of proactive self-examination in combating racism. Overall, the author urges readers to confront their own prejudices and work towards a more equitable society. The significance of racial identity in Black adolescents. Black youth experience the intertwining of personal and racial identity during adolescence. This is because others think of them in terms of race, which shapes their self-perception. Black adolescents are more likely to explore their racial or ethnic identity than their white counterparts due to the intensification of racial messages they receive. As they begin to receive these messages, they develop an understanding of how their racial or ethnic identities fit into society. Why Black teens congregate together. Black students face negative stereotypes and harmful images of themselves in media, and hence often congregate together to share experiences and hardships. While some reasons for segregation are intentional, students from similar racial backgrounds gather because it allows them to understand and relate to each other's experiences, especially when it comes to racism. Black adolescents often encounter racism and their white peers may be unprepared to respond supportively. White people often invalidate their feelings, leading Black teens to seek solace in groups with peers that understand their struggles. Developing Black identity. The book focuses on the author's experiences growing up as one of the few Black children in her school and how she developed her sense of Black identity while in college. The key message is that parents and educators can help young Black people build their identities. The book offers valuable insights, including the importance of positive cultural images, role models, and connecting with peers. The author also explores the benefits of the immersion experience and active exploration of Black history and culture. The book's takeaways are applicable not only to young Black people but also to the parents and educators who work with them. White identity. The book's summary explores the need for white people to develop a sense of racial identity and become aware of their whiteness and privileges. The author emphasizes that most white people go through life without considering their race as they belong to the dominant racial group. To overcome feelings of shame and guilt, the author suggests participation in anti-racist white support groups that educate white individuals on being effective allies to people of color. Confronting fear of talking about racism. Fear often prevents white people from discussing racism. However, open dialogue is necessary to combat this complex issue. White individuals may fear losing their privilege, facing isolation from friends or family, or not knowing how to begin conversations. Breaking the silence requires courage, and progress requires action. Participation in cross-racial dialogue involves listening, understanding, and supporting each other's experiences. Everyone, regardless of their level of power, has a responsibility to contribute to change.
Tatum's "Why Are All the Black Kids Sitting Together in the Cafeteria?" reveals the deep-rooted issues of racial inequality and segregation that persist in American society and sheds light on the complex dynamics of racial and ethnic identity formation. By examining individual experiences, historical events, and empirical data, the book demonstrates the lasting impact of systemic racism on Black individuals and the importance of acknowledging white privilege. Tatum also emphasizes the need for effective cross-racial dialogue as a vital step towards promoting understanding and dismantling prejudiced perspectives. Overall, her book serves as a call to action for individuals, parents, and educators to challenge and break the cycle of racism, while actively engaging in the pursuit of equality.